Happy Monday, students at Mount San Antonio. Before I go into a review of a sample essay 2 on power of music and proposing a solution, there still seems to be some confusion about students that really don't know how to navigate and find everything in both the course website and in the Canvas. So starting out right now on the home page. Okay, first of all, always start in the home page. You'll notice right here it says link to class website for course schedule. It also says there's a blue link. I'm clicking on it. There is the class website. Now, some of you were confused about navigating. As with other websites, go look in the toolbar. Look at what we have here. You have some background information on me. You have the complete syllabus. You have the complete course schedule. Let's click on that course schedule. Okay, if we go down to that course schedule and we go down to week 7, there we are. Okay, now of course you don't have to rely on this, but for a quick overview, it's really nice to have. I have the weekly module, which we'll go back to soon. Okay, let's go back over to that toolbar. And for example, many of you were confused about the annotations. Again, even at the very beginning of the course, I directed you to the class website. What do we have here? We have the Kite Runner Reading Guide. We have cause and effect. We have the formal full sentence outline. There you go. You've got a sample of the exact format for an MLA full sentence outline. Now, the one thing that was confusing, and it really surprised me, right below that is the page saying annotated works cited page. Click on that. There we go, folks. Part 1 of an annotated works cited is the bibliographic information, the actual citation. Part 2, what does it say? The second part is a 4-sentence annotation in which you express the following. And it's very detailed. When I say I want you to write an annotation, this is what I want. The first sentence includes the author's thesis. Second to third sentences states the kind of evidence. Fourth sentence states the author's purpose or the concluding message. And the fifth sentence describes the intended audience. That is exactly what you need to do. And you have to have an annotation for every citation for every single essay. I've gone one step further. What's that? That is an example of an annotated works cited with 3 different types of citation. The first one shows you the exact format, including punctuation, and the annotation, which is single space block, for just an online website. Let's look at the second example. This is an example of the type of citation with annotation that you would do, for example, if you had an article from a textbook. Okay? And then finally we have the third one, which is with proper punctuation of titles. An example, if you have a citation, a source that is from one of the library databases. You notice it has last name, first name, it has the title of the article, or if it's a definition, the term, the container, page number, the second container. You always have 2 containers for a database source, which is the name of the database, whether it be Gale Virtual Reference, whether it be EBSCOhost, whether it be Academic Career, and then, of course, the access date. So this is what I referred you to over and over, and it's been there the whole time, okay? Also, what I have in there is other things on the course regarding helpful links. One under helpful links is what? I referred you many times, and I still will with many of you, to Al at Purdue. And what do you have there under Al at Purdue? You have a direct link to Al at Purdue. And I am referring you to what? The MLA Formatting and Style Guide. I am then referring you to what? The MLA vidcast series. You need to study those vidcasts. There are 6 of them regarding MLA 8th edition. Watch them over and over and over again. Okay, let's go back to our class website. Now, next step, modules. Every single week is set up in modules. We are going to go now down to week 7. There's our week 7 module. All the modules are set up exactly the same. Starting with the overview. All of you should be watching the overview today. If we click on the overview, you'll notice I have a reminder about due dates. And then I have a lesson, and there's always a lesson. And actually, this YouTube video access will be in the overview. So here's your lesson for this week of the overview for your Proposing a Solution Essay 2. Let's look and see what else is in. In fact, you could go through it very easily. Why? Because it automatically leads you to the next part of it. What's the next part of it? It has both of your discussion in this week. What's the next part of it? The week 7 journal response assignments. What's the next part of it? Your essay writing assignments. What do you have? You have an outline that is due today. You have your first draft that is due. If I click on those, I'll see my actual assignments, and that's where you would submit them. Full sentence outline. Due October 7th. That's Wednesday. Okay? And next is the one that a lot of you seem to be forgetting to go into every time you ask me where to find a handout. There's your quizzes. You have a direct link to your quiz, which is this Wednesday. And then finally, a big folder. All the handouts and samples that relate to any work that you would do this week, starting with the Essay 2 prompt. And many of you asked, and it was right under the prompt. The Power of Music Readings. There it is. Right under that, and this is where I made it easy for you. It says, Works Cited Power of Music. Since it's a packet of readings, what I have done for you, and we're going to click on this, I have given you the actual citation. All you have to do is write the annotation. There is every single citation of the readings in the packet in proper MLA format. All you have to do is add the access date and write the annotation, which was your Journal 8. Okay? Let's look and see what else is there. You have 2 other articles. It's Getting Hot in Here article and the Black College Women Take Aim at Rappers. Those are 2 good articles that you might want to use if you were writing about the problem in music and rap and hip hop has to do with degradation of women. You have a sample Essay 2 outline. You have 2 different Essay 2 samples. And you have another sample MLA outline. And then, of course, since we are on the reading guide, every week I am posting, until we have it, I am posting the Kite Runner schedule of reading and quizzes. Okay, there you go. Monday, 10:5, read chapter 10 through 14, do journal number 10, which is the study guide question. Wednesday, 10:7, quiz number 3 on chapters 10 through 4. Journal 11, study guide question assigned. Okay, I hope this is clarified for you where everything is. Most importantly, every single week, you need to go in and you need to check that weekly module. And you will notice I've been pretty consistent in that I post that module the Sunday night before Monday. So you have it right before you start the week. Look at it, plan, go over it, read it carefully. Okay? Now I'd like to turn to the second part of this YouTube lesson, which is I want to review one of those sample essays I told you about. So we're going to go in here. Now, this is an excellent essay, and it's a student from Fullerton College. And one of the things I like about this essay is it's a true proposing a solution essay. It's very fair-minded. He follows the prompt. He has a creative title, Negative Impact of Current Rap Lyrics on Society. Let's see what he says. As a personal fan of rap music, it has been fascinating to observe the rap culture shift throughout the years. The rap game has changed from NWA and Ice-T expressing their feelings about police and social injustices to popular artists such as Young Thug and Migos preaching to society about their wealth and material items they possess. He talks about Tupac Shakur. He talks about how Tupac was interested in writing lyrics that were about the ills of society and the struggles of African Americans. And then he goes on to set up his thesis. It was not intended to evolve into the lyrics that society currently listens to over the radio that censors every other word. The song is better staying off the airways instead of encouraging the youth to look up to what is really being said. Terms are being misused and overglorified in the current rap business. Now, this is the first paragraph of his introduction. Here is his second paragraph. And this is also the introduction. This actually is statement or his thesis, what he's trying to prove. The freedom of expression has sparked an interesting controversy in our society. There are many rap artists that use this privilege accordingly and send a powerful message to listeners. However, there are a handful that are abusing the privilege. It makes it harder to defend rap music today. The popularity of artists' lyrics may grant them wealth, however, it does not label them as a positive character. Here's his actual thesis statement. Freedom of expression in current rap music has negatively influenced our society through the language and terms being used as lyrics. What I want you to look to is how he used two paragraphs to give background and to slowly set up a very powerful thesis. And then he spends the rest of his essay explaining why it has come to a negative place. And so he does what is very effective, which is present a chronology of the development of it. He starts with the gangster rap with Ice-T and NWA. But he also, in his concluding message in that paragraph, says, of course, IT was using profane language, but it was a way to get his point across and express himself. He goes on and talks about NWA and their purpose. But at that time, he said, they were the ones that changed the tone of rap music. And I like his quote from one of his good sources, which says, at that time, in the 60s, rap music became what we would call reality rap. He talks about the Rodney King murders. He talks about the problems faced by African Americans. He also talks about an interview that Matthew McKinnon did with Ice-T and how he was rapping about how he felt. Again, he's concentrating on those rappers were talking about society. He brings up one of the articles in your packet. Barbara Ehrenreich wrote an article on Ice-T and his use of the First Amendment and Cop Killer. That is an excellent example of how to introduce a source. Absolutely excellent. Name of the author, full name of the author, what the article is about, complete title of the article. She says, even though the lyrics are vulgar, he uses the First Amendment to protect his rights to use them. Now he gives more chronology. As gangster rap continued into the 1990s, he talks about Tupac Shakur. Talks about some of the music written and the reason for it. Now he gets to the turn. The era of gangster music and reality rap ended when Tupac Shakur was murdered in 1996. A new era of rap artists took over the airwaves on the radio. Problems in society were no longer being expressed through rappers' lyrics. However, their wealth, earnings, and materialistic lifestyle were. Now, I think this is the point that he's making. That's what his thesis is about. Literally, his criticism is that rap has lost its use as raising controversy over the issues of the day and becoming more like a lifestyle. Their wealth, earnings, and materialistic lifestyle. It's been an unfortunate decline in rap music that has taken place as these artists are not only negatively influencing the younger generation, but also degrading women with the labels that they use in their song. Okay, and that's actually a very important point. I think I posted the names of some of the artists who have specifically been banned in other countries strictly because those countries like Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom and Canada feel that their music incites violence against women. He brings up another source in your packet. Clarence Page uses a recent study that was conducted by Motivational Education and Entertainment to describe the influence of rap artists on teens of all ages 16 to 20. Now, if you're going to use information from a study, you've got to see how it's set up. And this student writer does that very, very well. Very, very well. And then finally, one of my favorites, because I was at this lecture, this is where I went to school and got my master's. John Parker and Megan Lloyd-Jones used an event that took place in February 2004 at Sacramento State, which included Chuck D as a speaker to describe the state of society and the music industry. It is, quote, saturating and disfiguring the minds of young African Americans. Chuck D, the leader of rap group Public Enemy, expressed his disgust with the industry and current rappers. He states that rappers are using glorified epithets to promote the thug mentality for increased sales. As he says, how could we admire these extravagant thugs when it only highlights the inadequacies in our own life? And by the way, I was there. He stayed until like 3 o'clock in the morning so that every student that personally wanted to talk to him could. He's a very, very popular motivational speaker and a rapper with a PhD. So we're getting towards your conclusion. And he writes a very good conclusion. He does wrap it up. As rap music evolves daily, artists continue to fail to use the privilege of the First Amendment to make a positive impact on society. That's his concluding message. Unfortunately, most rap artists today could not follow in the footsteps of the great pioneers of rap music. Current rap music has established a reputation that makes it difficult to defend, not only itself as a genre, but also the artist is making a positive impact to society. Chuck D says it best with the statement, the only hope for this country is to be educated and become citizens of the world. So, I think it's really impressive. Here you can see, here's this works cited. As you can see, I gave you, remember, the citations. You just had to write the annotation. He added some other ones. He followed proper format for the citations. Right here, when he referred and used lyrics from Cop Killer, what he did is there is, from Spotify, it shows you how to cite lyrics from a song. In the Clearance Page article. Lyrics from Tupac. So if you use lyrics from a song and cite them in your essay, yes, you do have to write a citation for them. And if you go to OWL at Purdue, it will tell you what to do. If you really want, you can look, this sample essay is in that file folder of handouts and samples. You can kind of follow his order of information for citing lyrics. And I'm hoping this will help you. Again, I gave you the complete works cited list of every reading in that packet. Okay? So I want you to use it. Okay. So hopefully this overview has given you a little bit better idea of how to approach your Essay 2. Again, look at the weekly modules, study all the files, read the sample essays, and I think it will help you quite a bit to give you a clearer picture. There's a second one in there that is just as good. And it talks again about the state of the music industry. It actually concentrates more on the problems with modern rapid hip-hop. Has to do with the music industry itself. So good luck on your essay assignment, and good luck on this week. And I'm looking forward to your discussions. Bye-bye.